This is me, walking for just 5 minutes, because at the time, 5 minutes was a workout. I had just had my fifth baby. I survived a very rare childbirth complication that resulted in emergency surgery and a postpartum hysterectomy. I had lost multiple units of blood and all of the strength that I had spent years trying to build. You're seeing me 18 months later, and now I'm back to lifting heavy weights and even starting to jog. But in this process, the most important thing that I learned was how to never have to start over again. See, I'd already had 4 babies, uncomplicated pregnancies, vaginal deliveries, pretty straightforward recoveries, and this labor and delivery started like all the rest. I got woken up from sleep by contractions. I was in the hospital at 8 centimeters dilated by 6 a.m. I assumed it was all going to go just as it had. And I also assumed that my recovery would be just like the others. But what happened was anything but ordinary. I had a very rare complication called a spontaneous uterine rupture. This resulted in me hemorrhaging into my abdomen. Yeah, you can imagine how that went. I had a baby vaginally with severe pain, which landed me in the CT scanner, in emergency surgery, and then having a postpartum hysterectomy. My husband is in the delivery room feeding this baby donor breast milk and waiting to hear about how my surgery is going. It didn't go smoothly. I required multiple transfusions. I had fluids. I had an extended hospital stay. I had significant bruising and a very long recovery. My baby was okay, and I was incredibly grateful for that. But I was also really sad. I was really mad. I was very discouraged. And honestly, I was depressed. I had spent months and years focusing on my health. I'm a doctor. I know what's supposed to make a healthy life. And I had worked so hard to get that. And I felt like it was all gone in the blink of an eye. I felt like I just had to start over. And when your mood isn't great, and when your energy isn't great, and when you're in a lot of physical pain, starting over feels unachievable. It feels like a mountain you could never get over. So what did I do? I stayed in bed. I barely walked around my house. I decided that I would wallow in my grief for a little bit because I kept looking at exercise and healthy living through the lens of what I used to be able to do. I could lift. I could walk for 30 minutes. I could go on a bike ride with my kids. I could prep healthy meals in the kitchen. I couldn't do any of that. Every tiny thing that I tried felt difficult. And I could not break the story that I was telling myself, that I'm starting over from zero. I knew the medical recommendations. I'm a family doctor. I understand the interplay of nutrition and sleep and movement and healthy living. But that doesn't mean that I could get myself to do it. Knowing and taking action are not the same thing, and it wasn't enough. I had to go back to something that I learned long before medical school, and that was in college when I was studying behavioral psychology. What makes people do the things that we do? And from that viewpoint, I could start to take small action steps, just doing something so small that I could prove to myself that I am still a healthy person. I am still somebody who cares about my health, my family, my life, and my future. So instead of asking myself, oh, how do I get back to that old life? Because that old life doesn't exist anymore. I said to myself, what's one thing that I can do? And in the beginning, all I could do was ask for help in preparing healthy recipes. I had my husband, I had my mother, I had a large group of friends and family who were all supporting me. So I asked for help. I ate healthy meals. That's what I could do. I could get up out of bed, get to the kitchen table, and have some fruits, vegetables, fibers, healthy proteins, and try to get my healing back in the direction of positivity. And with that action, I started to collect the evidence again that I am a healthy person, to have the confidence to take more steps. And eventually I said, okay, what movement can I do? I still wasn't walking up and down steps yet, but I could walk for 2 minutes and then for 5 minutes on a walking pad in my living room. That's literally what I did. The one small action that I knew I could succeed at. I knew that that is how behavior psychology changes. I have to give myself evidence to have the confidence to become the person I want to be. I could not tell myself a story about the old person that I was. I had to look forward to tell myself a new story about the person that I was becoming. I couldn't wait to just feel like the old Paige again. I had to take action to accumulate the evidence that I was a new, better version of myself. There was no 30-day transformation. There was no massive overhaul. There was no, I'll start again on Monday and really get to it. I just simply had to do the next smallest thing that I was capable of doing. Small enough to start, consistent enough to change. And then eventually I realized I wasn't actually starting over. I was just making a choice to live a healthy life again. I just hadn't gotten back to where I was yet. I wasn't physically as strong. I wasn't mentally as sound. I wasn't emotionally as stable. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't ever going to get there. Every healthy meal counted. Every 5-minute walk mattered. Recovery didn't erase the person that I was before, but allowed me to transform myself into the person that I am today. I had to learn that there's no such thing as starting over if I could stop looking at this interruption as a complete reset and just make the next healthiest choice in the direction that I wanted to go. And this experience fundamentally changed the way that I teach health forever, because I learned that somebody telling you to exercise 150 minutes 3 times a week isn't helpful when you're actually moving 0 minutes, or sitting down to a meal of 30 grams of fiber isn't productive when you can't even get up to cook yourself a meal. That realization became the whole reason why I built the community that I did. And now how I teach that what matters is small changes, small actions, tracking progress, collecting evidence, changing your identity, telling yourself a new story about yourself. That entire experience was the basis for how I created my community. Small challenges, small successes, small change so much that we can't resist it. By continuing rather than restarting. This is how 5 minutes eventually becomes 30. This is how one healthy meal eventually becomes a healthy lifestyle, which somehow brings me to the protein smoothie that I have been snacking on, because this is the Healthy Family Kitchen. We are on a quest to cook through an entire cookbook, something that I've never done before, but now I'm taking on a new challenge. And in episode 3, I made the protein coffee from the 30 and 30 cookbook that we're working through. Yeah, okay, and I love it. It was not good. But what did I do through what I learned? I didn't abandon this idea. I just made the next version a little bit better. Let me share that recipe with you, because healthy habits don't have to be perfect the first time either. Sometimes you try something, it doesn't work for you, and instead of quitting, you change it. I adjusted this protein smoothie to have a frozen banana, a little bit of almond butter, and a little less ice so that it could fit in one jar. Get chock full of protein, have the fiber from a banana, have some healthy calcium and protein and fats from the milk or the soy milk, and start my day off on the right foot. And you know what? This took me 5 minutes. So I want you to remember that. If 5 minutes is all you have today, then 5 minutes is what you do. If 2 minutes is all you can do, 2 minutes counts. Don't worry about whether or not it's enough to transform you. You're not trying to prove what your body can do today. You're building evidence that you're somebody who keeps going, and those little bits of evidence really add up. And that's what we do here. So if you're somebody who's trying to build healthy habits in real life, you're in the right place. I care about you. I know that you can reach all of your goals too, and I can't wait to spend more time with you.